Yo, it's KarQ. Today is June 12th, and tomorrow is going to be June 13th. June 13th is actually going to be the day that Season 5 begins, but we got the patch notes one day early. On this channel, I'm going to review the notes, read them out loud to you, and give you my thoughts. And make sure you head to the main channel tomorrow on patch day to watch the actual video footage coverage of everything, where I just demo the changes and read what the devs have to say, and I don't really have too much of my personal input in there. But this one is a bit more up close and personal. Craig put together the entire patch notes early for everybody. Let's begin. Season 5, join Tracer and her friends as they embark on an adventure in a fantasy-themed role-playing game. As you progress through the battle pass, you'll guide Tracer where she works to save the magical kingdom of the Overlord from the threat of Demon Lord Reinhardt. Become a powerful knight as you unlock her mythic adventurer skin. More fun awaits in Season 5, including our first ever creator-made workshop game mode in the arcade. The return of summer games. We saw there's going to be Winston Beach Volleyball, Lucio Ball, and they have Mischief and Magic, which is a Overwatch 2 prop hunt game mode. I used to play a game called Witch It, which is kind of cool. I like prop hunt. Prop hunt is very fun. Okay, so they did say, yeah, Cactus Puppy. He helps me a lot with a lot of workshop stuff. He's made like a couple of workshop creator tools for me to use workshop stuff in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. So shout out to him. It's going to be good. Yeah, prop hunt. Have you guys played prop hunt? Name your favorite prop hunt game. Yes, and it's called Winston Volleyball. Winston Beach Volleyball plus Lucio Ball is going to be in the summer games. Hey, what's a prop hunt? Basically, it's like a fun mode where like one person has to find everybody and you transform into random props on the map, and then you try to like figure them out. General updates. For the challenges, we have Lifeweaver unlock challenges because obviously he's no longer in the Season 4 Battle Pass. He can now be unlocked by completing his challenges. These are for people who are into their weeklies. Incomplete weekly challenges will no longer reset to 0. 100% of the progress made in the weekly challenges in the previous weeks will now be kept and carried over. All weekly challenges requiring wins have been converted to complete games, and wins grant double progress. So ones that just required wins are no longer requiring wins. You just have to finish the game, and if you win, you get a bonus. So that's good for those who just are taking 10 L's in a row and can never do their challenges. Instead of me telling you to get good, I won't be toxic. You are now good to go. Just finish the game, okay? Always finish, ladies and gentlemen. Always finish. This change results in the required amounts becoming higher, but the average total number of games needed to complete the challenges has not. This is the dev comments. Basically, it always takes between 15 to 30 games, averaging around 20. It'll look the same averaged out as long as you win 40 to 60% of your games. That's basically it. The on fire system is returning to Overwatch. This was an Overwatch 1 thing. A couple people in the chat are probably Overwatch new to the Overwatch universe, never played Overwatch 1. This is basically a psychological trick to make you think, to make you feel good when you're doing well. Basically, when you play well, your character goes like, I'm on fire, but an extinguisher is not needed. That's like a Zenyatta line. When you get like a lot of kills, eliminations, defensive stuff, as long as you contribute a lot, you earn fire, and then your portrait will light up. What's new is there's a new status called blazing, where it's the exceptional playmakers will begin blazing. It can't be maintained as easily as regular fire, so you need to play outstanding to keep the heat on. New visuals, fire to the hero portrait and scoreboard. It makes its debut in the kill feed. Again, this is all just to like feel good when you play, when you're popping off. Something called catching fire. So now if you actually kill a person that's on fire, it'll grant you a lot of bonus fire, is what I'm understanding. And then there's something called fan the flames. What is this? Oh, that's right. Previously, whenever you kill someone, you'll see like you've eliminated so-and-so, and there's a number beside the fire symbol. That's how much fire you earn. And there's like an unspecified threshold that you need to reach, maybe like 500 fire, 1000 fire. I don't know if those numbers are public, but people have reverse engineered it. It's probably on the wiki. Maybe you need like 1000 fire to go on fire or something like that. But now they're saying if you mitigate damage, so Reinhardt players can earn fire by blocking stuff, saves, healing, assists, capturing contesting objectives, boosting damage, crowd control. These all contribute to your fire meter. Pay attention to who's on fire, help them increase your fire score. This doesn't actually change anything fundamentally for the gameplay. It's just to feel good, which is important. We all want to feel good in this world, right? We all want pleasure. Matchmaking improvements. Okay, once again, added a new matchmaker function that should create matches with a narrower range. The initial tuning of the system at the start of the season will not be aggressive, but we'll be making continual tuning changes throughout the season. Matchmaker now prioritizes placing similar groups with wide skill ranges into the same match, which means solo players will see a lower chance of being placed in those matches. That's good. Bug fixes address some issues with backfills and quick play. Fix an issue where the matchmaker initialized new players' competitive MMRs to a value that did not reflect their skill. Players will continue to adjust their accurate MMR as they continue to play. Free-for-all player skill ranges. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna skip the free-for-all. This is gonna be a long video, but if you want to read the full notes, they're gonna be linked in the comments. or sorry, in the description. Because I mean, this is, I don't know who plays free-for-all regularly. I didn't even know there's a competitive free-for-all. Ranked inactivity. So this is going to help fix the confusion. Everyone's like, how did I get this player on my team? Players that did not play any matches during a previous competitive season will become inactive. Inactive players do not have a visible skill tier and division. Each role and role queue can become inactive separately, while in open queue, a player only has to one rank that can become inactive. Once an inactive player returns and achieves a competitive update after winning 5 games, their skill tier and division will become visible again. So this is just I don't even think this is just like a front-facing change. To be honest with you, this isn't even like, I don't even really think this is just MMR, but this will help people who like return to the game and they see like a rank and then somebody else gets tilted because they looked at their profile and they're like, oh my God, this guy's gold, but he hasn't played in like 5 seasons. Now it'll show blank, which will help people's weak mentals out. Truthfully, stop looking at people's profile, focus on yourself. I've always preached that. That's just my take on it. You can believe what you want, but trust me, it'll help you not tilt by not looking at other people's profiles. Just play for yourself, baby. Competitive mystery heroes will return. That's very nice. Competitive bug fixes improved how the matchmaker computes its initial skill estimation, aka MMR, for people queuing their first comp game. That's going to be, I guess, for new players and smurfs. Rampage, Junker Queen's ultimate cost increased by 15%. And the commanding shout temp health reduced from 200 to 150. That's good. Basically, you know, mid-season 4, Junker Queen got like giga buffs where like all the adrenaline, she heals like 2x instead of 1.25x. All that extra healing and damage movement naturally allowed her to build her ultimate way faster because it's a 2-fold buff, right? When you buff bleed damage and the heal as well, you're also gonna buff the uptime of Rampage. So they have to nerf that. That's good. And commanding shout, they just wanted to shift the power out of commanding shout because like since they obviously overbuffed her last patch, they're just reducing some of the personal temp health to 150. All her teammates still receive 50 HP, by the way. Roadhog finally receiving a buff, now amplifies healing received by 50% for 2.5 seconds after finishing Take a Breather. Basically, it's an self-anonade. You're basically anonading yourself every time you finish vaping. You get boosted healing. If you throw an anonade while he's amped from his own Take a Breather, I'm like pretty sure it stacks, but I will confirm tomorrow when I test it and show you guys tomorrow. Maybe some other creators, I didn't watch any other creators patch note videos, maybe they demonstrated it, but I will confirm tomorrow when I drop my patch note changes. Magnetic grenade. So this one's a big one. I do know what this does. It no longer has a maximum projectile travel range of 10 meters. So previously, after 10 meters, it'll just blow up, and now it has an unlimited range, so you can lob this from across full court right now. You can throw this, and as long as a target is 1.5 meters close to it, it'll chase them for up to 1 second, and then it'll pop up. This is very interesting. It looks kind of wild on paper where you can chuck it across the map, but you have to remember, impact damage is going to be increased from 0 to 10, which will affect sleeping people. So if a friendly Ana sleeps someone, previously, when you stuck them with the grenade, it wouldn't wake them up and they'd take the full 120 or previously 131 damage. Now, because it does 10, you can't stick them or else you'll risk waking them up if it's a tracer. Well, I guess technically she can't recall even if you throw 10, so it's actually not bad. I just realized because we're going to talk about this next effect. The explosion damage is being reduced from 120 to 70. That's actually pretty good because like 70 damage is a way less. It used to be 131, so this is way less cheap in terms of its explosion damage, but it now has a small CC effect where stuck targets now have slower movement speed by 30%, and stuck targets are now affected by the hindered status effect, which interrupts and prevents movement abilities from being activated. That means Winston, you can't leap. Moira, you can't fade. Diva, you can't fly. Ball, I think you can still grapple, actually. But you just can't use like Doom Punch or any major movement stuff. So that's pretty crazy. But you have to remember, how long is someone stuck for? 1.2 seconds only. That's it. It's only 1 second that they can't do anything. So you have to time it. You have to lob it correctly, and you have to time it. It's a pretty small duration, so I mean, it's okay. This is basically to control tracers, sombras, and all that stuff. It's basically a hindered effect. It's kind of like when you get grabbed by Zarya. right? When you're grabbed by Zarya, you can't use anything. The overall magnetic grenade changes are to shift its use from purely damage into a utility. I actually am okay with this. I know people are like, oh no, CC, but like, maybe it's because I'm not a tank player. It's only for 1 second. Remember how when Sombra's hack was 1.5 seconds? After the season 1, it was like 1 point what? Or 2 seconds or 1.75? Then they nerfed it. It's like 1.2 seconds for this hindered effect. It's really like nothing. When people used to get hacked by Sombra in season 2, it was like, whatever. Kind of ignored it. I think it did get nerfed to 1.25 when Sombra was terrible in season 2. This is a 1.2 second stuck, and they have to time it, and it doesn't really do much damage. You just don't get killed by cheap kills where you just get stuck and you just take 120 and die. I don't know. I feel like this is pretty mild. It looks kind of wild on paper, but yeah. But anyways, they got rid of the stuck banner because like instead of stuck targets, it would confuse people when they got stuck by Tracer's Pulse Bomb because they both say stuck. So now mobility locking status effect is being referred to as hindered from now on. All right, Hanzo, Sonic Arrow impact sound effect now plays for the enemy, and the visual effect is briefly visible. It's going to be like a red glow. I don't have the demo here. Again, watch it on the main channel tomorrow, and I'll link it in the description, but you can watch that tomorrow to show that off. Stormbow, max damage reduced from 125 to 120, means you can't one-shot a headshot like Mei and Reaper specifically. So this is a nerf in the Mei matchup, and they're actually changing Mei. I actually think Mei might be pretty damn good now. All right. Let's get to Mei. So this is a nerf, by the way, Sonic Arrow, because like it gives enemy teams more awareness. They can tell when they're sonared. So double nerf to Hanzo. Mei's is the big change here. Okay, the DPS is reduced from 100 to 55. That is a massive like 88% damage nerf. I don't know if my math is correct. Is it 100 divided by 55? Big nerf to the relative damage, but the primary fire slow is no longer always a 40% slow, and now scales from 30 to 55%. Or sorry, 30 to 50%. Primary fire impacts now build up to a slowing effect that sticks to the enemy target for 1.5 seconds, and then it'll slow them for 75. So basically, if you slow them for over 1.5 seconds, they get a massive slow. In Overwatch 1, her thing used to be 55 DPS, and then once they froze in place, you would headshot icicle them. Now they're kind of doing the same thing, but you're not like actually like stunned, frozen stunned. You're just like extremely slow. This is what Overwatch 1 was. They're trying to move Mei away from just AoE freezing like 4 people clumped up near a wall with 100 DPS back to the old numbers and build up a massive slow. And the secondary fire detonates. Sorry, 45%. What did I say earlier? I said some like weird number. My bad. 80. Did I say 80%? I was kind of like, I saw this number and I was kind of like tripping out. The secondary fire can now detonate it, dealing an additional 40 damage. This is quite a bit though, because like if you hold 55, hold. What is the icicle base damage? 70? Or is it 75 for a base icicle on the body? But if you do headshot, it is going to be quite a bit. So it's 150. If you just freeze them for 1.5, what's 1.5 seconds of 55 DPS? 1 second is 55, 1.5 seconds is 27.5, 83, 84 damage, or 82.5, sorry. So now it's 82.5 damage before they get massive slowed, 82.5 plus 40, and if you body shot, what is that? 82.5 plus 40 is 122.5 plus a 75. Okay, so you're dealing 192.5. So maybe you just hold the DPS, the beam, just a little bit after they get the slow effect, and you should be able to cross the 200 HP threshold. 197.5. I'm just trusting the first person that said the math. Okay, so that's pretty close to 200, even if you body shot once you get them there. So single target DPS, pretty nasty. It sounds crazy, but like it's mitigated. You can mitigate it, right? A D.Va can hold Matrix over and block the follow-up damage. All you needed to do as previous Mei was hold your beam for 2 seconds to deal 200 DPS. Now you have to deal like just a little bit under 1.5 seconds, maybe just a little, maybe 1.6 seconds, and a follow-up shot. It's not as crazy as it sounds. It was actually more brain dead before, in my opinion. 2 seconds for 200 DPS? I don't know. Versus 1.6 plus the skill shot. However, if you do headshot, it is pretty nasty. But at least headshot's a single target. Okay, so this set of changes is to bring back some of the gameplay and feeling of Mei's primary fire used to have without the hard crowd control of the freeze stun. Wraith Form can no longer be activated by mobility locking effects like Castnade, Steel, Junkrat Trap, Grab, Sigma's Gravitic Flux. This was a consistency issue because Reaper and Moira were the only ones who could escape them, because in Overwatch 2 they changed it where like if you grab, a lot of people can't leave anymore. The hindered mobility locking status effect is now finally consistent with Reaper and Moira. In Overwatch 1, as like a Sombra or Tracer, you could like recall out or translocate out of Graviton Surge, but like it was changed in Overwatch 2 so they couldn't, but for some reason Reaper and Moira could for the past 8 months. Now they fixed it for Reaper and Moira. Pulse pistol spread increased by 15%. This is a nerf, by the way. That means your bullets are spread out more, so that's going to nerf her damage at a lot of ranges. She has to play a little bit closer to ensure all her bullets are tight packed and hitting targets. If you play a little bit further away, it's going to spread more. That's a nerf. So Tracer is getting nerfed here, and she's getting nerfed against the Cassidy matchup with the hindered effect. Finally, Tracer may not dominate as much as she has in high elo. Widow. So this is the big nerf. This is hard to understand for people who don't really understand numbers, but scoped shot damage fall off min-max range reduced from 70 to 100 to 40 to 60, and the scoped shot maximum damage fall off scalar increased from 30 to 50. If you've never read patch notes before and don't understand Overwatch mechanics, this might confuse some people. In short, let me explain this. Widowmaker does 120 damage at a full charge to the body, 2.5 times headshot multiplier, so 300 damage for a headshot, 120 to the body. Basically, previously, the moment you are 70 meters away from a person, that 300 damage headshot will start falling down, and then when they're at max range, 100 meters away, really far away, it'll scale down the damage. So 100 meters is like as far as you should play so you don't lose out on damage. This is a double nerf because previously it would go down 30% only. So the 300 damage would only be reduced by 30% at its max range. Now, once you're 40 meters away, so even at a closer range, your damage is going to start falling off. And at 60 meters, which is a lot closer, you're already at the maximum reduced damage, and they're actually reducing it even more. They're cutting it in half. So remember how I said it's a 300 damage headshot? Well, now 300 damage headshot is only going to do 150 damage headshot at 60 meters, when previously, even at 100 meters, you were doing 210. It's 30% of 300. Is that right? Something like that. I've seen it what it looks like on maps. So basically, there's a lot of maps you have to play way closer on Widow to even be effective. This is a giga nerf to Widowmaker, in my opinion. I mean, at 40 to 60 meters, you might as well play Ashe, to be honest with you. It makes you one jump away from Winston, one jump away from Diva, because previously you could play so damn far away on Junkertown that like you never get jumped as Winston or Diva before the Widow sees you. You can just run. So yeah, she's diveable now. So I actually think they should buff her HP back to 200. That's basically what these nerfs mean. The average range to still eliminate 200 health hero is at 50 meters. That's on average. Okay. Fully charged crit will still do, so 150 is the max scaling. So it means you can always headshot a Tracer no matter what range. But yeah, it's bad everywhere else. All right, Lifeweaver. Big giga buffs to him. I've actually read these before. I actually still think he's ass, but we'll wait and see. Petal ornaments on his back have had their size and hit volume reduced by 10%. So hitbox is smaller by 10%. Very, very good. Healing is up from 65 to 75. Sure. Horn volley is damage from 5 to 6. But the radius of the projectile is actually thicker, and the ammo's increased. But I'm going to be real, it's still pretty bad. Petal platform. The walkable area increased by 15%, so it's a bigger petal. The area to trigger it now shrinks from a radius of 2 to 0.75 meters. Basically, the biggest problem with, well, not a big problem with Lifeweaver, it's actually a pretty minor one. A really annoying one is when you put the pedal platform down and someone's like tiny ass toe or the back of their heel touches it, the whole thing lifts up, and then half the people never even make it onto the center of the platform. Like somebody initializes it early and they all fall down and nobody takes it. So now you have to be a lot closer to the center for it to even go up, which is actually a good change. And the walkable area is a little bit bigger too. The life grip cooldown is down from 20 to 16 seconds. Okay, the uptime's higher. And it now instantly heals for 50 HP. But the Tree of Life is actually going to be increased, the cost of it, by 8%. This is probably to offset the bonus damage, and extra healing is going to get Tree of Life. They don't even need to do this, to be honest with you. All in all, it's like the most defensive support heroes in the game are now Mercy and Lifeweaver. Mercy, because she can damage boost and change damage breakpoint thresholds, has better survivability, can do that. I mean, they're completely different styles, but like this is the only other defensive hero in the game Hard to say how this will play out, but I'm going to be honest. My take is that he's still going to be bad. He's going to go from like 38% win rate to like 42. He's not going to be played in high elo still, guaranteed. But maybe he'll be a bit more useful. He's like a heal bot, which is what a lot of people do anyways on BAP and Ana in the metal ranks and below. I'm sure he'll be fine there, but I don't think he's going to be played at all in top 500 and GM at all. Apart from people trying to do like one trick challenges or some weird stuff like that. Dev comments: Lifeweaver stats have been improving over time, but he's still underperforming. These adjustments are primarily straightforward improvements of nearly every aspect of his kit outside of his ultimate ability, which received a small cost adjustment for the increased healing and damage output. The pedal platform area shrinking is a quality of life change intended to help avoid accidentally activating the lift after it has been placed. Yeah, he's still bad. He went from a C to C minus. That's all I'm saying. Oh, and Moira can no longer, when she's hindered, she can no longer fade out of like magnetic grenades. Steel trap, you were never able to fade out, but you could fade momentarily to like dodge stuff. But when you returned, you were still rooted. I'm pretty sure you just can't fade, period, now. Oh, C to C minus. Sorry, C to C plus. Or no, actually, I'm not even joking. He went from C to C minus. He still went down. And that's it for Moira. Okay, there's a few map updates. Busan, new lighting. Rialto, new lighting. Gibraltar, third point is completely different now. I'll show a visual of it tomorrow on the patch note video. Make sure you subscribe to the main channel on KarQ to see it all. It's already out publicly. Marbler did a coverage video if you want to go scavenge the internet for other people's patch note coverage. I'm sure they're all fantastic, but you know, if you want to see mine, show you yours, I'll show you mine. It'll be out tomorrow. Bug fixes. Fix the Lifeweaver platform. Okay, that's good. Fix ping stems from not appearing. Okay, fix Lifeweaver tree and platform from appearing as enemies. What? Okay, disabled ping wheel movement for controller, disabled lock and crosshair. Performance issues. I'm trying to look for gameplay implications. Hold on. Fix an issue with ultra wide monitors, preventing NF match flow. Okay, nothing crazy here for gameplay. Coliseum, leave playable space. Hay bales, not blocking self-destruct. Super niche scenarios. Fix several areas where she becomes... Wait! Oh no, this is an Oasis change. Man, I thought this was like an actual fix to Kiriko's TP bug. I don't know if they actually fixed it. Fixed a bug with sleep dart with accuracy. That's fine. Nothing crazy. Immortality, not displaying its cooldown. Fix an issue that allowed stunned. Ooh, Doomfist changes. Wait, this might have more like overall gameplay implications that are not niche. Fix an issue that allowed stunned targets of Rocket Punch to escape the stun early by jumping after being hit. So yeah, if you were jumped, if you were mid-air and you got punched, you could like sometimes escape it early. That was actually pretty annoying for Doom players. I know that one. Interaction between Tree of Life and Meteor Strike that allowed Doom to be healed while not in field of play. Wait a minute. Well, I mean, nobody really played Lifeweaver anyways, but if you had a Tree of Life and Doom was in the air, unfazed out, he was getting full health from the Tree of Life. That's kind of broken. But they fixed it so you can't be healed while you're not physically in the map. Fix an interaction that allowed Rocket Punch to deal no damage to the pedal platform. Interesting. I think the pedal platform just stopped his punch and punch didn't even activate it. Fix an issue with power block, not reducing the area of effect damage correctly. Does this mean if you get stuck by grenades like Cassidy or Pulse Bomb, it actually reduces damage now? Is this actually a change? Oh, like splash damage from Anonade was actually doing full damage previously? Okay. Fixed an issue with power block incorrectly applying Junker Queen's Bleed. I heard about this one. Diva's primary fire, increasing his rate of fire when set to mouse wheel. Yeah, I saw this before. I'm surprised it took him this long to fix. That was super abusable, but you would get banned for exploiting if you did that, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this was a big change for Echo. This is a big one I saw on Twitter where your sticky bombs would not detonate right after duplicate ends. That's actually pretty good for Echo players. Life Grip will now, for Lifeweaver, Life Grip will now correctly nudge targets around payload obstacles. Healing Blossom and Life Grip targeting now consider both the head and chest of the target as valid line of sight, so it now allows you to target around vertical obstructions such as payload to be more consistent. So that's good. Previously you had to aim around the center, or at least if you had the sensitivity to max, as long as the diamond shape was there. So now this basically means Life Grip and Healing Blossom have bigger targeting range. So this is actually a buff around targets. Fixed a bug that prevented pedal platform from being used for secondary fire. Okay, that's a small niche thing. Fixed a bug with Life Grip not pulling people onto ledges if Lifeweaver was airborne. So if you took the pedal platform previously and you Life Grip them and jumped, they would get stuck underneath or like not climb the ledge of your platform sometimes. So this is kind of good. Fixed an issue where Life Gripped allies falling off the map would still die to the death flame even after you Life Grip them. That's good. Ping thing, footsteps, Tree of Life on a Torbjorn turret correctly destroys a turret. That's good. So basically, Tree of Life, by the way, overpowers objects that are made. If you put a Tree of Life on Hammond Mines, it blows up the Hammond Mines. If you put it on a Mei wall, it breaks the Mei wall quickly. If your tank gets walled off, you can actually put your Tree of Life right beside them and it'll break the wall for them so they're not stuck and they get healed instantly, by the way. So if you guys didn't know that. So now it also gets placed on Torb turret. That's pretty good. So it's actually a pretty good interaction. If they have an enemy Torb turret kind of annoying everybody and no one's shooting it down, you just put the Tree of Life, and if it's still useful, boom. Fix the bug that allowed Tree of Life to be attached to the push bot and pulled along. No! That was always fun when we saw the I am Groot thing with the push with the Tree of Life in the push bot. Mercy resolved an issue with Resurrect not retaining cooldown through hero swaps. What? Resurrect not retaining cooldown? Oh, so this basically means like when people could swap to Mercy res, swap to a different hero, swap back and have res again. So they just fixed like a abusable bug on like Gibraltar or like Third Point. Yeah, so you could reset it. So that's actually that's good. That was kind of abusable. This is a good change. Fixed a bug where Mercy wasn't properly resetting her GA cooldown when entering Valk. First of all, I didn't even know Guardian Angel reset when you entered Valk. There's a couple of things in Overwatch, a couple of ultimates that reset certain cooldowns. I didn't even know GA was supposed to be reset on that, but GA is a pretty short cooldown anyways, like 1.5, 2 seconds or whatever it is now. Is it 1.5? We obviously know Genji Blade resets dash the moment you pull it out. I know Pharah reloads all her rockets at the end of it. There's a couple of cool small niche things that heroes do when they use their ultimates. Some reload ammo, some reset cooldowns. Winston gets his leap back. That's right. You can leap, pop primal, and get another leap back. That's good. High noon reloads. Very, very cool. Oh, it's 3 seconds for GA. My bad. But that's a small change. That's a pretty big change when you pop Valk. Quality of life. You fly in, pop Valk, and you can fly again. That's actually pretty nice. Well, what if you don't use crouch or use any movement tech? But then you're also like not playing Mercy to her high potential. You're kind of reducing the skill cap by increasing the cooldown. But that was an issue from previous patch. Okay, what else are they changing? Orisa would use the animation for receiving crits for all. Okay. That's fine. Interaction. What? Interaction with Nemesis and Annihilation that resulted in ultimate not performing damage? Well, that's bad. Block was being incorrectly applied to Jarker Queen Bleed. I did a Mythbuster on this, I remember. When you randomly blocked after, the bleed should have been reduced even after the bleed was applied, but maybe it was a bit buggy. Fixed a bug with block that prevented it from being correctly stacking with Ana's nano boost. So I'm actually not sure how damage mitigation fully works in Overwatch 2 anymore, because we have Ramatra block. We have Doomfist block. When they say lifesteal, they mean annihilation. Like, it doesn't actually lifesteal. It doesn't lifesteal. I'm pretty sure they meant annihilation, just tick damage, but they just called it life stealing their life, but not like making your life better. I don't know. He doesn't actually lifesteal. This is a wrong word. Wrong word used here. Okay, so in Overwatch 1, just want to point this out, that damage mitigation was capped, or damage reduction was capped at 50%. So like, I remember if you were an Orisa in Overwatch 1, you pop Fortify and you got nano boosted. Remember, nano boost has a 50% damage reduction, Fortify is damage reduction. It would used to just cap at 50%. So now I'm not actually sure how this works with block and nano boost 50% plus what? Block? Is it 50% more? Like block for Ramatra is already what, 80 or 90% damage reduction? I don't even know the exact number for this, so this is something I'll have to test, to be honest with you. Oh, block is 90? Oh god. If I recall, you take 30% damage if you nano and block, but block is already default 80 or 90. 2 people wrote 80, 2 people wrote 90. I don't even know. It's 80 now. It used to be 90. So this is something I'll test. So I looked at these bugs. These are some things I'll throw in the Mythbuster episode for season 5. So do not fret, my friends. Do not fret. You guys subscribe to the main channel. Have you seen the Mythbuster content? Good. Okay. Sojourn. Modified screen. Okay. Translocator can no longer... No! Translocator can no longer be stuck to the basketball. Dude, that was like so good. Fixed interaction between Lifeweaver and Torb that allowed them placed on walls. Okay. And then the workshop stuff. Maybe Cactus Puppy can clarify if any of these are great changes. I'm sure they are. And that is all for the season 5 patch. Now, one thing I do want to point out, I'm going to put Blizzard on the hot seat. I know they always say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but I'm going to give them criticism where it's due. I thought they told us that they're going to rotate every other season with a hero release, and then a map, and then a hero, and then a map. Is there a map this season? Nah, Busan's not new. I mean, Gibraltar is new, I guess. It's fixed. Okay, so they make up for it for season 6. I'll give it to them. Anyways, that's it for the YouTube video. KarQ, subscribe, follow the main channel. Subscribe to the main channel. Peace.